iPhone 15, let's talk about it. So just a couple of days ago, Apple had their event, and one of the things they released was iPhone 15. Let's talk about it. The new iPhone 15, we got the regular base models, so the iPhone 15, which starts at $799, the iPhone 15 Plus, which starts at $899. And both of these models, if you look at them just at the screen, you can tell they're slightly different. We'll talk about that in a second. But some of the new things that are different about the new iPhone 15, it's got USB-C. USB-C is kind of the big thing that came out this event. So now we're all done with Lightning except for like AirPods Max and like some other stuff, like basically almost all USB-C now. So they got that now. So if you look at the front of the screen of just the baseline iPhone, you have the pill, the dynamic island, now on all iPhones. So the basic iPhone 15, 15 Plus, they all have the dynamic island. So it's the same as the 14 Pros last year. It works the same way. Shows live action stuff and all that. If you look a little bit inside the phone, we look at the chip, just like the 14 regulars, the regular iPhone 14s, where it had the iPhone 13 Pro's chip. This year it's the same thing. So the iPhone 15 base models have last year's chip, or the A16 Bionic chip, in this year's baseline iPhone models. It's still a good chip. It was in last year's Pro iPhones, so it's not really much of a downgrade, but it is last year's chip instead of this year's chip. If we look at the cameras now, so in the iPhone 14 phone, they had a 48 megapixel camera, and now in all baseline and Pro models, they have 48 megapixel cameras, which is a nice touch. So now that's standard throughout all the iPhones. Let's talk about the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. So the iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999, just like last time. No increase there, but if we look at the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it starts at $1199 instead of $1099 like it did last year, because this year they started at 256 gig instead of 128 gig. So kind of a sneak little price increase there, but you do get the extra storage, but you have to pay for the extra storage. So if you look just at the phone straight up, something new is the titanium rails on the edge of the phone. So it makes it lighter and stronger, but I mean, the thing that's gonna break anyways is the glass, but the titanium is stronger than the stainless steel they've had before in the Pro models. But the titanium looks a little cool. It's like a brushed texture. It looks pretty cool. The iPhone 15 Pro models also got a new chip, and this year it's called the A17 Bionic Pro. First time a chip's been called Pro before. It's also Apple's first 3nm chip. It's supposed to promise performance and efficiency improvements, and it's 10% faster, and the neural engine's like twice as fast, but overall, it shouldn't affect your daily use. You wouldn't be able to tell a difference, but it's just future-proofing for the next iPhones and what's to come out. So nice to see Apple is future-proofing. So let's talk about the screen. So with this screen, all 15 iPhones, the max peak brightness is 200 nits, which is double of last year's iPhones. So that means you can go outside, your phone will be perfectly lit, you can see everything, you won't have to like squint, like cover your phone to like see what's happening. This year's iPhone has always on display. I didn't know they had that. Just kind of cool. Just like the 15 base models, the Pro models have USB-C, but they have USB-C Type 3, which means it has faster data transfers, 20 times faster data transfers. So this USB-C is a lot faster than just the iPhone 15. So I guess that's one reason you could go to a Pro iPhone, is that it has faster data transfer speeds. So you can transfer videos. If it's like ProRes, it can transfer faster to your computer than it would with just a regular USB-C, which is nice for what you're getting with the Pro phone. But if we look at the cameras, Nothing new with the regular 15 Pro. It's the same as last year's 48 megapixel, but only in the 15 Pro Max is where things get different hardware wise, and they probably only say this because it has more room in it, but the Pro Max, 15 Pro Max has a 5x zoom telephoto camera instead of a 3x zoom, so you can zoom in a little bit farther than you could before, but that's only with the 15 Pro Max, not with the 15 Pro or the baseline models. And also they have this weird setting now where you can do 48 millimeter focal length, 28, 35, 48, and it goes all the way to 120, but that's if you have the 15 Pro Max. That's the only one that can do 120 millimeter focal length. That's 5x, but the 24 is one, and then you have 1.2x, 1.5x, which is kind of weird. So you can preset your phone camera to be at like 1.5x, and that's like its standard instead of just 0.1 or instead of 1x, which is kind of weird, but it's kind of cool for people who are using their phone for photography where they need to have that focal length like as a standard if they want. So kind of cool. One last thing, we gotta talk about the switch button on the side. So with the Pro models and well, all the 15 models this year, I think it's okay. What's new with the Pro models this year is this active like switch button on the side. So instead of having a ringer silent button, it's now this button where you can customize to have different like quick option settings. So you can open your camera, you can open your flashlight, you can do a shortcut to open an app. You can keep it on the silent muted like button if you want, which is cool from Apple to be able to get that customization for what you want. That's another one of the hardware things that changed, that the camera. But other than that, like I wouldn't say the titanium is something you need for this year's phone. Like if you have the 14, like there's no need to upgrade, but I think all around it is a good phone, but I wouldn't say there's enough if you have like the 14 to upgrade. I would wait maybe another year unless you have to, but yeah, that's my thoughts and impressions for this iPhone 15 and 15 Pro. Leave a comment down below if you're gonna upgrade to the new 15. I'll be hanging down in the comments, so type away. Thanks for watching.